Everyone loves some good combat sports. There's nothing quite like the rush and excitement you get watching two behemoths getting into the ring to duke it out. We have classic sports like boxing and wrestling, and we have the absolute damage and chaos of MMA. But here's this new combat sport you may not have heard of before. Bare-knuckle boxing and fighting is a sport that goes all the way back to the last century, but it's been making a comeback, becoming much more of a legitimate sport with its own rules. With the emergence of premier bare-knuckle fighting leagues like the BKFC, here are some of the greatest knockouts in bare-knuckle fighting, sure to get you hyped and excited for the sport. Before we get to the meat of the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos on the coolest sports content.
For Arnold Adams into the clinch, a lot with the bigger fighters in bare-knuckle. Downs to the body, we see that a lot.
This heavyweight matchup is a battle of the Goliaths, as one of the best heavyweight fighters in the BKFC, Arnold Adams, faced off against another big dude in Bobo Bannon. Bout starts, and immediately, Bobo Bannon whips out his arm cannon and starts doing some damage. Immediately, Bobo Bannon goes up for some combos and keeps punching, putting the champ on his toes on the get-go, anticipating the moves Bannon would pull. Even as Bobo Bannon gets in a clinch with Arnold Adams leading, he doesn't stop swinging. Unlucky for him, however, Arnold Adams was setting up and he started raining down his own tough hits straight to Bannon's head. Bannon was throwing more hits all over the head and to the body, but Arnold Adams was throwing stronger and tougher hits this time around. Eventually, the ref has to call a quick stop, as in the clinch, Arnold Adams threw a wild uppercut that absolutely blasted Bob Bannon's face. The fight resumed, and it was clear Arnold Adams had taken control. Arnold Adams makes his opponent whiff and miss some strikes, and proceeds to counterpunch all over Bobo Bannon. He then gets Arnold Adams in the ropes and rain down hits with a bare-knuckle Dempsey rolls maneuver to Bobo Bannon, trying to survive the first. But with a perfect right, Bobo Bannon came barreling down, and instantly, Arnold Adams won this bout without even going past the first round, as Bobo Bannon could not get back up on time and simply had too much damage.
Lozano trying to place the jab. Lozano stepping.
When it comes to the middling weight divisions of bare-knuckle fighting, Lorenzo Hunt is the name to beat. With this insane all-around game, Lorenzo Hunt is a force, and for Eric Lozano's debut, Lorenzo Hunt had a rude awakening in store. Lozano was on a mission to cause chaos and damage himself, as he hit Lorenzo Hunt hard as well as throwing his own haymakers. Lorenzo Hunt was out here with his signature style of fighting, with a wide stance built for his insane speed and dodging. Hunt was coming out with blisteringly quick strikes and insane counter-punching abilities. Even as round one ended, it was clear both fighters were hanging it tight, and both were ready to cause some pandemonium and chaos. Lorenzo Hunt's bad blood was clear, as he didn't even want to shake Lozano's hand as the first round ended. Lozano was still striking with power, but he was missing more as the bout went on, while Lorenzo started to feed off that rough and tough fighting style and got ready to throw more and more combos. Just as the third round is about to end, and as we seemed destined for another round of haymakers and damage, Lorenzo Hunt threw a perfect right that sent Lozano straight to the floor, and as he squats over Lozano's body, it was clear he won, and that Lozano wouldn't be getting back up to fight back.
Knuckle up! Round number one.
He out.
Huge shot by plummet. Down goes Justin Baseman.
For this fight, we see what is an absolute domination by a legendary MMA fighter.
Shot to the overhand. Right hand connects. Left hand.
Ryan's becoming comfortable with.
Henry back in again.
Step back, break, step back. Oh.
That's why, if you didn't know, Chris Leben was an MMA legend beforehand. While Chris Leben may have some solid wins in the UFC, his time at BKFC made him a legend of BKFC. For this fight against Justin Baseman, the two old men were pretty similar in all physical aspects, except for the fact that Baseman had an insane reach advantage. The fight begins, and miraculously, Baseman throws and connects with a solid right straight into Leben's head. The next few seconds then happen and cement Chris's legendary status. Chris gets some huge punches and gets Baseman on the ropes. Forced onto the ropes and stuck in a clinch, Leben proceeds to throw absolute uppercut bombs straight into Baseman and his face, and like that, he gets his insane knockout in record-shattering time. This moment was definitely a showcase by Chris Leben, showing people he still definitely has what it takes to be a force in the UFC or any other fighting league.
Blue trunks for Prindle.
Man, but I met both of these guys, and I can tell you, man. Oh, he's out!
You know the bare-knuckle fighting championship was destined for greatness as soon as we saw this absolutely epic battle between Sam Shoemaker and Eric Prindle. Sam Shoemaker comes from a background in boxing and has a clear advantage in terms of punching skill and technique, while Eric Prindle is a longtime veteran in the world of mixed martial arts. Their fight marked the start of the first legalized bare-knuckle boxes since the sport was initially made illegal. Safe to say they did not disappoint for this first fight. The fight starts and both fighters get ready and size each other up for the first strikes of this new and exciting sport. Immediately, Sam Shoemaker sends a message of how amazing the sports can be. With a right haymaker straight from hell, Sam Shoemaker absolutely drops Eric Prindle, stopping and dropping him off with one giant hit. Immediately, the message is sent that the sport of bare-knuckle fighting is one to watch.
Trying to find an opening.
Already the chant of Harris.
He's out.
That is it.
In my pick for one of the best bare-knuckle knockouts of BKFC, we have this absolutely amazing showcase from BKFC 3. In this lightweight matchup, 5'7" Elven Leon Brito faces off against 6'2" Harry Stevenson. While Brito was way behind in terms of reach and height compared to Stevenson, Brito still had that dog in him as he was ready to cause problems and chaos in the ring. The two were here causing chaos as they went in combo after combo against each other. Brito was dodging and weaving as he threw punches with speed and power, while Stevenson stayed in it with some outboxing skills. The fight was truly a close bout, as Elven Brito continued to drive in like a rhino and dropping off punishment in those speedy bombs. Stevenson stayed tight though, and even after Brito's flurry, he sent a perfect punch that sent Brito stumbling down and back. As round 2 begins, both fighters stay in it and they continue to get bruised and bloody from the sheer onslaught they're going through. Brito may have lost his edge early, but besides all the clear physical gifts, it was clear Brito also had one thing specifically that was powering him through. The man had heart. Brito was driving, but he was also smart, knowing when to initiate and deal damage, but also knowing when to fall back and escape Stevenson's mean right hook. Just as the third round was coming to an end, and just as the fight seemed to be way too close, Brito got his own beautiful knockdown. After escaping a tough clinch and initiating his own attack again, Brito throws an absolutely gorgeous right straight into the face of Brito, knocking him on his ass and ending the round with some real fireworks. The stage was set as going into the fourth, they both had one knockdown apiece. The fourth was a bloodbath, and for Brito in particular, it almost looked like Stevenson would end the fight if he wasn't saved by the bell. Finally, however, as the fifth round came, Elven Brito went for a knockout with that amazing right straight like a lumberjack yelling timber. Stevenson dropped hard, and it was clear to everyone watching that the fight was over. No countdown was needed as Brito added an exclamation point to this beautiful showing of how great the BKFC can truly be. And that's all for today's video. Who's your favorite fighter out of the bare-knuckle fighting championship? Write your answers down in the comments, and while you're at it, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications on the newest videos on the best sports content.